Hey guys, Tbull here. Legendary tier cruiser today. We got Mimbelli in the screen there, Makawa, and Be Delightful. Kind of playing with the concealment on this one. There it is, Napoli. And there's the armor. Alright, so what's up with the Napoli? It's got a pretty good health pool here. We're going to see about 59,000 as we load into the Warriors Path Domination Mode game. In fact, I believe it's the highest at the tier. I got to double check and make sure my charts are fully updated right now, but doing a quick glance at it earlier, I believe it's the highest health. Certainly, you got good mobility and kind of well-rounded in terms of offensive capabilities. You got the long-range lumbering Italian torpedoes, and you got the guns. Now, all in all, I'm going to say this thing's pretty well balanced, right? If you look up and down the cruiser lineup in the legendary tier right now, they all kind of like lean into one thing really heavily. Like take Alaska, for instance, really good durability, slugging ability, hard hitting gun, kind of like Battleship-esque or Battleship Light for the Alaska. Des Moines, high DPM, Minotaur, extremely brittle, but withering attack if you leave it alone. Napoli doesn't really jump out to me in any one direction, more along the lines of, okay, well, it does everything pretty well, right? But I think in terms of, I don't know, I played probably 10, 15 games in this thing on and off stream. This, I believe, is one of the higher damage games we get. I can't remember exactly where we end up, but it's a nice 3,000 XP game anyways. So we're kind of going to see, how well-rounded it is. Here we are on the eastern flank. Now we got 2 destroyers per, and no, we got 1 on A, 1 on B, nothing on C here. We are sending some assets over here, which is good. I don't want to concede the side, certainly, but we are using the concealment. Now, the concealment is something that really stands out on this thing. Hey, you can see there, 9.4 kilometers detection. Now, that's with a good level Macau on there, keep in mind, but good cruiser detection. And this is legendary tier, so that's pretty elite. You do have the smokes, the rolling smokes, like the rest of the Italian line. What we don't have, though, is the option to put the SAP on, which is a little curious because they're in the process right now. They just, about 2 weeks ago, introduced the SAP for the cruisers. They've been gradually kind of introducing it for secondaries and giving it to some battleships here and there. And now kind of the big rollout with the cruisers. A lot of people were anticipating, okay, maybe we'd see Venezia at the legendary tier, which will be the, the high tier SAP cruiser for the Italians. But no, we got the Italians AP and HE combo here. Now, unlike the Amalfi, I think both shells actually play pretty well. The HE is not quite as strong, but overall it's pretty reliable. You do need to be hitting the proper parts of the ship for it to be totally effective. The AP, as we'll see in, I think, a few different sequences in this game, pretty dang effective overall. So try and get the AP going as much as you can. All right, now we're going to be angling here. Taking a little bit of damage, sure. But see all that HP that I'm talking about here. We can take a lot of shots. Don't want to be taking any like vicious broadside shots or anything. The legendary tier ships can still punish you. It doesn't really matter what ship you're in. But if you're playing it smartly, you should be all right. Now look at this high floating silver shot here. 23,000 from Minotaur parked somewhere near, in between Jupiter and Saturn. Can't even see it on there, so far away. Hell of a shot. Didn't even really try and dodge it that much just because, when I fire the 10 to 12 second downrange type shells like that, they're not that reliable, but he got me pretty good there. So beware of Minotaur is the lesson there. But look at it there. We got still over half of, we got about 60% of our HP or whatever. And we got payback on the mine. Now the Minotaur, I don't know what he's doing exactly. He's kind of broadside to most of the team. A lot of the teams, both north and south, are playing behind islands. It's kind of a common legendary tier thing where people elect to take positions that don't appear to offer them shots. Whether they're actually getting them or not, who knows. But Minotaur only looks like he's got a couple guys that can engage him at this moment. I'm one of them, though. All right, so he's beginning to gun his engine there. We're trying to see, is he actually going to, is he actually going to do it, or is he trying to fake us out? So we shot one in the mid, and then another, all the other shots toward the front of the ship. Got him a little bit there. First shot when he was backing up and wasn't expecting us is a little bit better. Minotaur takes a vicious shot, but look at this. His comrades helping him out here. All right, so we're trying to get him out of here. Minotaur, you always want to kill if you can kill it. Gearing, rushing us. What the heck you doing? Suicide Rush, legendary tier. All right, let's see what you got. But he does have Conqueror. He does have a model behind him. I'm thinking to myself, man, can I use this dead body right there immediately in front of us to block any torpedoes? I don't know, but the fact that we're going to be spotted from firing our guns and the Yamato, the Conqueror, shooting at us there, yeah, they got to get going. All right, so we can't get too fancy. We do launch some torps into the smoke where we saw him shooting from, and we're just going to try and get the heck out of here, and hope that we can make this trip without going to the bottom of the sea here. And luckily we dodge, and we drop spot, more importantly. Yamato over here, coming through here. Now, this is going to be an interesting little sequence because we're going to be forced to play against this island to the top right of the screen here. But we got Yamato guarding that lane, and then we got Yamato to the north and Conqueror to the north, potentially threaten us as well. Here's a set of torps and widespreads. Oh my god. Whew. First set was looking kind of dangerous. It wasn't quite on the correct line. Second set, though, we could fit a school bus broadside through there and have no problem. So appreciate the widespreads, made that a lot easier. And our normal spread torps, go ahead and wipe him off the board in retaliation. And check this out. We're only 10 seconds away from getting the cap. Oh my god, here comes the Conqueror, and he's moving in. Alright, so we got these slow lumbering torps. They're coming both directions here. Did the Destroyer spot him for the Conqueror? Probably. Is the Conqueror permanently zoomed down range, lobbing shells, unaware that there's torpedoes coming to him? Well, that's certainly a possibility as well. Same thing with the Yamato. Is he paying attention? Who knows? It's tough to tell these things. The Italian torps, they take a little while to get there, and they can be easy to forget about. Maybe these guys spotted them, and then they're like, yep, there's no way they're going to hit us, and then 10 minutes later, they run into them. Always a possibility. All right, so we got to kind of defend our position here, because we can't pull into B yet. We, of course, would like to. And there's a torpedo hit on the Yamato, who appears to be unable to damage control the flood. We're trying to get the Conqueror as well. But until the Yamato's gone, we cannot move into B, right? So it's a very precarious position. Luckily, we get the Yamato there with the torp. And man, just a little slow on the reload. There's a little bit, the timing wasn't lined up quite right there. Did want Little John to come by for this one, but unfortunately, I don't think we're going to get the double strike in time. But we do get the kill. Fourth kill. And I don't know if we're thinking cracking at this point in time. We do have a pretty solid grip in the lead. So maybe I did notice at this point in time that we're close. Regardless, that's really what we want to do. And we want to get on to B. We'd like to get that cap flip. That's some more score, XP, credits, all the good stuff that we want in life. But once again, they do have another battleship to the northeast of B, so we need to approach with caution. Got about 30k health, just a little bit less. That's not a problem for what I believe is to be a Yamato. They're parked to the north of our position. You could easily one-shot us. But at this point in time, I'm thinking, okay, well, if we can get B, we'll kind of go over there. We got a couple destroyers in B. Oh, they're not spotting them yet. Maybe we can grab the cap. We'll pop the smoke here as well. See if we can squeeze over there. But here he is, and he's going to probably proxy spot us here. No, he doesn't. Well, yeah, it does have the proxy spot mod there. So we're going to aim on the inside of this indicator, because battleships, of course, they're going to slam on the brakes, right? Of course, we're suicide rushing them. Battleship players get suicide rush pretty much every game by at least one guy. So they get used to it. They want to slam on the brakes, and we hit him flush with all 4 torpedoes there. Now he does damage control that one, so that's the end of the damage output. No cracking, of course, but pretty good score and pretty good damage, and good contribution to the game. So what are my thoughts on Napoli? Again, like I was alluding to earlier, I think it's pretty well balanced, which may, I don't know, it may in some people's eyes make it seem a little bit weaker because all these other ones kind of stick out in one aspect or the other. The Woo stab, ripping AA and blistering damage over the course of the match. Minotaur, Cold Bear, all these things can pump out the damage. Des Moines and its own way, Alaska, Stalingrad, lower damage outputs, but heavier spikes. So Napoli a little bit more well-rounded, I would say. Anyway, that's a look at the Napoli for you. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. If you did, please hit the thumbs up. New to the channel, consider subscribing. Lots of World of Warships coming for all the time. Questions, comments, leave them below. Love to hear from you, and we'll see y'all later. All right, peace.